My son lives in this house with me now. He helps me out of bed. He makes my meals. He drives me to my doctor appointments and picks up my prescriptions. He does everything a good son should do. But he does not look at me like a son looks at a father. He looks at me like I am a task. I am 86 years old. I had a stroke 14 months ago. The left side of my body does not work the way it used to. I need help with things I used to do without thinking. My son David moved in 3 weeks after I came home from the hospital. He sold his condo. He rearranged his life. He set up a bed for me in what used to be the dining room because I cannot climb stairs anymore. He did all of this without complaint, and I have never felt further from him. For a long time I thought I was a good father. I worked hard. I provided. I kept a roof over my family's head and food on the table. I paid for my son's education. I taught him discipline and responsibility. I thought that was enough. I thought if I raised him to be strong, he would thank me later. I was wrong about a lot of things. I grew up in a house where my father's word was law. He was not cruel. He was not violent, but he was firm. When he spoke, we listened. When he made a decision, it stood. There was no negotiation, no discussion. I respected him, or I thought I did. Looking back, I am not sure if it was respect or fear. Maybe I never learned the difference. When I became a father myself, I did what I knew. I became the voice of authority in my home. I set rules. I enforced them. I believed children needed structure. They needed boundaries. They needed to understand that the world would not bend for them. So I did not bend either. David was born in 1967. He was a quiet child, observant. He watched everything but said little. His mother was the soft one. She hugged him. She praised him. She told him she loved him every day. I thought that was her job. My job was to prepare him for the real world, the world that would not be gentle, the world that would demand things from him. I pushed him to do better in school. I criticized when he fell short. I held back praise because I thought too much of it would make him weak. When he brought home a test with a 92, I asked what happened to the other 8 points. I thought I was teaching him to strive. I did not see what I was actually teaching him. As he got older, the distance between us grew. He stopped coming to me with problems. He stopped asking for advice. He would talk to his mother in the kitchen, and when I walked in, the conversation would stop. I told myself it was normal. Boys pull away from their fathers. It is part of growing up. But it was not just distance. It was something colder. There were moments I remembered now that I did not pay attention to then. He had a baseball game when he was 12. He hit a home run, his first one. I was not there because I had a work meeting. His mother told me about it that night. She said he kept looking at the stands. I said I would make the next one. I do not remember if I did. When he was 16, he asked if I would teach him to drive. I said yes. The first lesson, he stalled the car at an intersection. I raised my voice. I told him he was not paying attention. He did not ask me for another lesson. His mother taught him instead. When he left for college, I shook his hand. I told him to work hard and make something of himself. He nodded and got in the car. I stood in the driveway and watched him go. I did not tell him I was proud of him. I did not tell him I would miss him. I assumed he knew. The years after that were polite. He came home for holidays. We sat at the same table. We talked about safe things. His job, the weather, sports. We never talked about anything real. When his mother was alive, she was the bridge between us. She translated, she softened, she filled the silences. After she died, there was no one to do that anymore. The phone calls got shorter. The visits got fewer. I told myself he was busy. He had his own life. That was how it was supposed to be. But sometimes, late at night, I would sit in the living room and wonder if my son even liked me. I did not ask. I was afraid of the answer. The stroke happened on a Tuesday morning. I was making coffee. I felt something strange in my head. Then my left arm stopped working. Then my leg. I fell. I hit the floor and I could not get up. I lay there for almost an hour before the neighbor found me. The hospital stay was 3 weeks. David came every day. He talked to the doctors. He filled out forms. He made decisions when I could not. He was efficient, competent. He handled everything, but he did not hold my hand. He did not sit close. He asked the nurses questions about my care. He took notes. When he talked to me, it was about logistics, what I needed, what came next, not how I felt, not if I was scared. I was scared. I did not tell him. When I came home, he was already there. He had set everything up, the hospital bed, the wheelchair, the grab bars in the bathroom. He had taken time off work. He had a whole system. He treated my recovery like a project. I watched him move through the house, adjusting things, checking things. He was careful. He was thorough. He was a stranger. One night, about a month after I came home, we were sitting at the kitchen table. He had made dinner, something simple, soup and bread. I was struggling to eat with my right hand. I am left-handed, or I was. He watched me for a moment, then looked away. I said, "Thank you." He nodded. I said I knew this was hard, giving up his life to take care of me. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said something I will never forget. He said, "I am not doing this because I want to, Dad. I am doing this because it is the right thing to do." He said it calmly. No anger, no heat, just fact. I put my spoon down. He looked at me then, right at me. He said, "You were never there, not really. You provided, you showed up, but you were never warm. You never made me feel like you were glad I was your son." I did not know what to say. He kept going. He said, "Mom made excuses for you. She said that was just how you were, that you loved me in your own way. I believed her for a long time." He paused. "But I do not believe that anymore." He picked up his plate and went to the sink. I sat there in the quiet. I wanted to argue. I wanted to explain. I wanted to tell him everything I thought I was doing, but I could not, because he was right. I had spent his entire childhood keeping him at arm's length. I thought I was teaching him strength. I was teaching him that I was not safe. I was teaching him that my love had conditions, and now he was here, taking care of me, because his mother raised him to do the right thing, not because of anything I did. That was 6 months ago. We still live in the same house. He still helps me every day, but we do not talk about that night. We do not talk about much. I watch him sometimes when he does not know I am looking. He is 57 years old. His hair is gray now. He moves a little slower than he used to. He looks tired. I want to tell him I am sorry. I have tried. The words come out wrong. They sound like excuses. They sound like I am asking for something I do not deserve. So I stop, and the silence comes back. I used to think that when I got old, things would be different. I thought I would soften. I thought he would understand. I thought time would fix what I had broken. But time does not fix things. Time just reveals them. All those years I thought I was being strong. I was being absent. All those years I thought I was preparing him for the world. I was pushing him away from me. I told myself I would have time to be gentle later, when I retired, when I slowed down, when he was older. I waited too long. Now I am 86. I need help getting out of a chair, and my son takes care of my body like it is a duty, because that is what it is. I do not blame him. I raised him to see love as obligation, to see family as responsibility. He learned exactly what I taught him. Some nights I lie in my bed in the dining room, and I hear him moving around upstairs. I wonder what he is thinking. I wonder if he is lonely. I wonder if he wishes he were somewhere else. I wonder if he ever thinks about what it could have been like if I had been different. I think about it. I think about sitting next to him at that baseball game. I think about being patient in the car when he stalled at the intersection. I think about telling him I was proud of him when he left for college. I think about saying I love you, just once, without conditions. I never said it. I do not know why. Maybe I thought it was obvious. Maybe I thought saying it would make me weak. Maybe I did not know how. None of those reasons matter now. What matters is that he grew up without hearing it, and now he is here, in my house, taking care of a man who never gave him what he needed. That is the truth I live with now. I do not know how much time I have left. The doctors say my heart is weak. The stroke did damage that will not heal. Some days are better than others. On the good days, I try to be pleasant. I try to say thank you. I try not to be a burden more than I have to be. On the bad days, I just try to stay out of his way. I have not given up hope completely. Sometimes I see something in his eyes, a flicker of something that might be love, or might just be memory. I do not know, but I watch for it. I cannot undo what I did. I cannot give him back the father he deserved. All I can do is be here now, quiet, grateful, trying not to ask for more than I gave. If you are still listening, I want to say one thing. I thought being firm was the same as being present. It is not. My son respects me. He shows up. He does what is right. But he does not feel safe with me. He never did. That is what I cost us. I am 86 years old. My son lives in my house, and I am still learning what it means to be a father. Too late, but still learning. Thank you for listening.